यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जना यमुनतीरावनचारी यमुनतीरा वनचारी राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी कृष्ण वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन जजनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन जगनरञ्जना यमुनतीरावनचारी यमुनतीरावनचारी राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Jai Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Krishna Chandra, Shri Radhe, Jai Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Krishna Chandra, Jai Jagannath Swami, Jagannath Baladeva, Jai Subhadra Mai. Jai Srinivas Jai Srinivas Govinda, Srinivas Govinda, Jai Srinivas Govinda, Srinivas Govinda, Srinivas Govinda, Srinivas Govinda, Jai Pehla Narasimha, Jai Pehla Narasimha, Pehla Narasimha, Jai Pehla Narasimha, Pehla Narasimha, Jai Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Jaya Gurudev Prabhupada, Gurudev Prabhupada. Jom Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivirajakaacharya Astottar Shatashi Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON Samsthapakacharya Sivir Bol Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। वृंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंद। Is the mouse available? Or I'll use this. Volume is low. Yes. One comment has come on. Volume is low. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, entitled Creation. Chapter 9, The Passing Away of Bhīṣmadeva, text number 34 and 35. Yudhi Turaga Rajaha Vidhumra Vishwa Yudhi Turaga Rajo Vidhumra Vishwa Yudhi Turaga Rajo Vidhumra Vishwa Kacha Dulita Shramabari Alankritasye Kachalulita Shramabari Alankritasye Kachalulita Shramabari Alankritasye Mama Nishita Sharaihi Vibhidyamana Mama Nishita Sharair Vibhidyamana Mama Nishita Sharair Vibhidyamana Vachi Vilasat Kavache Astu Krishna Atma Tvachi Vilasat Kavachestu Krishna Atma Tvachi Vilasat Kavachestu Krishna Atma Yudhi Turaga Rajo Vidhumra Vishwa Kachalulita Shramabari Alankritasye Mama Nishita Sharair Vibhidyamana Tvachi Vilasat Kavachestu Krishna Atma Yudhi Turaga Rajo Vidhumra Vishwa Kachalulita Shramabari Alankritasye Mama Nishita Sharair Vibhidyamana Vachi Vilasat Kavachestu Krishna Atma. Some of you can recite.
Yudhi Turaga Rajo Vidhumra Vishwa
Yudhi Turaga Rajo Vidhumra Vishwa
Kachalulita Sramavari Alankritasye
Kachalulita Sramavari Alankritasye
Sita Sraye Vidhyamana
Mama Nishita Sharair Vibhidyamana
Satpachestu Krishna Atma
Vachi Vilasat Kavachestu Krishna Atma.
Yudhi Turaga Rajo Vidhumra Vishwa
Yudhi Turaga Rajo Vidhumra Vishwa
Kachalulita Sramavari Alankritasye
Kachalulita Shramabari Alankritasye
Nishita Sarai Vibhidyamana
Mama Nishita Sharair Vibhidyamana
Vachi Vilasat Kavachestu Krishna Atma
Vachi Vilasat Kavachestu Krishna Atma. Yudhi Turaga Rajo Vidhumra Vishwa Kachalulita Shramabari Alankritasye Mama Nishita Sharair Vibhidyamana Vachi Vilasat Kavachestu Krishna Atma. Yudhi on the battlefield. Turaga horses. Rajaha dust. Vidhumra turned an ashen ashen color. Vishwa, waving. Kacha, hair. Lulita, scattered. Shramavāri, perspiration. Alankrita, decorated with. Asye, unto the face. Mama, my. Nishita, sharp. Sharaihi, by the arrows. Vibhidyamana, pierced by. Tvachi, in the skin. Velasad, enjoying pleasure. Kavache, protecting armor. Astu, let there be. Krishne, unto Shri Krishna. Atma, mind. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. On the battlefield where Sri Krishna attended, Arjuna out of friendship, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna turned ashen due to the dust raised by the hoofs of the horses. And because of his labor, beads of sweat wetted his face. All these decorations, intensified by the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows, were enjoyed by him. Let my mind thus go unto Sri Krishna. Kindly repeat this translation. On the battlefield where Sri Krishna attended Arjuna out of friendship, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna turned ashen due to the dust raised by the hoofs of the horses. And because of his labor, beads of sweat wetted his face. All these decorations intensify the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows were enjoyed by him. Let my mind thus go unto Sri Krishna. Purport. The Lord is the absolute form of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. The Lord is the absolute form of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. As such, transcendental loving service to the Lord in one of the 5 principal relations, namely Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya, that is, neutrality, servitorship, fraternity, filial affection, and conjugal love, is graciously accepted by the Lord when offered to the Lord in genuine love and affection. Sri Bhīṣmadeva is a great devotee of the Lord in the relation of servitorship. Thus, his throwing of sharp arrows at the transcendental body of the Lord is as good as the worship of another devotee who throws soft roses upon him. It appears that Bhīṣmadeva is repenting the actions he committed against the person of the Lord. But factually, the Lord's body was not at all pained due to his transcendental existence. His body is not matter. Both he himself and his body are complete spiritual identity. Spirit is never pierced, burnt, dried, moistened, etc. This is vividly explained in the Bhagavad Gita. So also it is stated in the Skanda Purana. It is said there that the spirit is always uncontaminated and indestructible. It cannot be distressed, nor can it be nor it can be dried up. When Lord Vishnu in his incarnation appears before us, he seems like one of the conditioned souls, materially encaged, just to bewilder the asuras or the non-believers, who are always alert to kill the Lord, even from the very beginning of his appearance. Kamsa wanted to kill Krishna, and Ravana wanted to kill Rama. Because foolishly they were unaware of the fact that the Lord is never killed, for the spirit is never annihilated. Therefore, Bhīṣmadeva's piercing of the body of Lord Krishna is a sort of bewildering problem for the non-devotee atheist, but was not showing the thing on the screen. Better, I think I read from it. Therefore, Bhīṣmadeva piercing the body of Lord Krishna is a sort of bewildering problem for the non-devotee atheist. But those who are devotees or liberated souls are not bewildered. Bhīṣmadeva appreciated the all-merciful attitude of the Lord because he did not leave Arjuna alone, although he was disturbed by the sharpened arrows of Bhīṣmadeva. Nor was he reluctant to come before Bhishma's deathbed, even though he was ill-treated by him on the battlefield. Bhishma's repentance and the Lord's merciful attitude are both unique in this picture. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, a great acharya and devotee in the humor of conjugal love with the Lord, remarks very saliently in this regard. He says that the wounds created on the body of the Lord by the sharpened arrows of Bhīṣmadeva were as pleasing to the Lord as the biting of a fiancé who bites the body of the Lord directed by a strong sense of sex desire. Such biting by the opposite sex is never taken as a sign of enmity, even if there is a wound on the body. Therefore, the fighting as an exchange of transcendental pleasure between the Lord and his pure devotee, Sri Bhīṣmadeva, was not at all mundane. Besides that, since the Lord body and the Lord are identical, there was no possibility of wounds in the absolute body. The apparent wounds caused by the sharpened arrows are misleading to the common man, but one who has a little absolute knowledge can understand the transcendental exchange in the chivalrous relation. The Lord was perfectly happy with the wounds caused by the sharpened arrows of Bhīṣmadeva. The word Vibhidyamana is significant because the Lord's skin is non-different from the Lord. Because our skin is different from our soul, in our case the word Vibhidyamana, or being bruised and cut, would have been quite suitable. Transcendental bliss is of different varieties, and the variety of activities in the mundane world is but a perverted reflection of transcendental bliss. Because everything in the mundane world is qualitatively mundane, it is full of inebrities. Whereas in the absolute realm, because everything is of the same absolute nature, there are varieties of enjoyment without inebriety. The Lord enjoyed the wounds created by his great devotee Bhīṣmadeva, and because Bhīṣmadeva is a devotee in the chivalrous relation, he fixes up his mind on Krishna in that wounded condition. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In the context of the today's verse, I would like to share some incident that has happened recently as part of my preaching service. In PLH, I met one new resident whom I met during the Deepotsava program, and he was a great singer. And I thought I encourage him to come and be part of Sankirtan programs in Govinda Kutir, our preaching center. And during my interaction with him, first interaction with him over the phone, after the program is over, gap of 2-3 weeks have come. And I got in touch with him and was understanding and encouraging him to come and take part in the kirtans, as he was a good singer. He was, in fact, sang as part of the Deepotsava also. He took the mic and then requested, with good feelings and good bhavas, he has sang Krishna songs. So during our discussion, I understood that he is quite spiritually oriented. His family is also spiritually oriented. And he takes good pleasure in singing songs on Krishna. He was mentioning that if I sit alone, given a given time, I just keep singing for 1 hour, I'll just be lost in singing. I go on singing like that alone. Very good. So then the topic of during the discussion, the topic of Vedic scriptures came into the picture. And during somewhere the discussion, the point came that because he was mentioning there are so many literatures are there, so many Puranas are there. Sometimes the things we are getting confused and what is what to be understood like that. So by the grace of Prabhupada, which Prabhupada very frequently quotes, when this topic comes, what Prabhupada quotes the verse? When the Vedic literature is having innumerable messages, innumerable things, innumerable topics, as part of the in 15th chapter, the 15th verse, Prabhupada quotes that Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattah smritir gnanam apohanam cha vedescha sarver ahameva vedyo vedanta krit veda videva chaham. So where Krishna says in that from all the Vedas, the goal is I am to be known. Goal is to know Krishna, to know God. So I told that yes, Krishna has mentioned, you see, in the Bhagavad Gita, that from all the Vedic literature, finally we should understand who is Krishna and our relationship with him. Then immediately he said that no, that Krishna is not the Krishna who is standing there speaking to Arjuna. What Krishna is referring to? He is referring to the universal form of Krishna, that what Krishna shown in the 11th chapter, which is Bhayanaka, and all the time everyone is entering into his body, and that is the universal form that we need to understand. Then I told him that no, that Krishna is standing there, he is telling that Aham eva Vedya, I am the one who is standing as I am standing in front of you. Then he realized that, oh, this is Dvaita. That Lord and living entity are two individuals. Oh, you are speaking in that language. Okay. Then I understood that he is from the Advaita background, where one sees the Lord as impersonal. And during the discussion, he also revealed that he and his brothers, he has got two more brothers, very frequently whenever they meet alone, no other family members, they will used to lie on the floor, touch their heads in the corner like this. And they go on discussing about the topics of the scriptures. And they take pleasure in that. Then I told him, you see, you are having that inherent nature to take pleasure in relationships. You are having inherent nature in taking pleasure in relationship. You so much, cherish those moments of the family members coming together, having that relational pleasure and discussing, even though discussing about the topic of the scriptures. How can you expect that in the final moment in the stage, this relationship, all this pleasure vanishes? It becomes zero. Nothing will be there. Then if that is the case, you should not do that now. Why are you doing it? So, as Madhu Pandit Prabhu, one of the classes, he said that it is very difficult to find a proper impersonalist in India. They think that their actually the understanding of God is impersonal, but inherently everyone is naturally attracted to, as he's singing, he's taking pleasure 1 hour singing, but in background somewhere some contamination has entered. Very, very tough to find a strict impersonal. What is impersonal? He doesn't actually, just like a stone, he will be there. Right? He doesn't take any pleasure in relationships. He doesn't take, he's follows strict tapasya. He's very strict austerities in terms of touching of anything of the material world, touching anything of this world. Very, very rare to find, even in this material world. But in the name of impersonalism, following the impersonalism, but actually many of the devotees, many of the people in India, they're somehow or other actually personalist only. But they don't know. But it is now the duty of the devotee to go and then give that touch and give the real feeling of how a relationship between a devotee and the Lord will be, and how it is exhibited in the today's verse, how Bhīṣmadeva is actually telling that particular relationship between the Lord and the living entity. It's a very beautiful verse today. So it reminded me of that particular subject matter of the personalism, where the Lord and the living entity have a very wonderful relationship. Is the final spiritual reality, and that is the most confidential aspect of the Vedic knowledge. What is the most confidential? What is the most secret?
Rajavidya.
What is that Rajavidya?
We are part and parcel of Krishna, and we have a very close relationship with the Lord.
And there are some activities pertaining to that relationship. There are certain activities pertaining to that relationship. Lord is an individual, I am an individual, and there is a relationship. There are certain activities pertaining to that relationship, and that is the spiritual reality, is the very, very confidential aspect of the Vedic knowledge. Because most of the people whom we meet, in final situation in the Vaikuntha, how the life looks like, they don't have absolutely no idea. Most of them, even though they are devotees, they are actually personalists only. But they are having the idea of when light goes into the body and merges into the body, that is what shows in the movies. We go and become one. The Lord, that's all is the life. But they are having, current life, they are having intense, very nice relationship, and they like the relationship, they have the devotion is there, but they're not having that understanding. But that's why it's a confidential aspect. That is a Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam. Rajaguhyam. What is that most secret Krishna is telling in the Gita? This is the most secret. And the same conclusion concludes in the last verse of the Gita, Bhagavad Gita. Manmana bhava mad bhakto. These activities of think of me always, become my devotee, offer your obeisances to me, offer your prayers unto me. If you do these things, you will come back to me. That is the most confidential, which Krishna, from his own words, Krishna says it is the most confidential. It looks very simple no, for us. What is the 4 activities? What is the most confidential thing in it? What is the most confidential in it?
Recognizing that these are two separate individuals.
In the final spiritual reality, to actually perceive it, our consciousness to touch that reality, it is quite difficult to come to that conclusion. For a thinker, speculators, mental speculators, without touch of a proper spiritual master, if somebody on their own, they try to speculate. Who should be the God? God must be like this, he must be like that. They speculate. Whoever speculate, there are 100%, 99.9% of the chances of that person coming to impersonal conclusion. That is a gnana marga. That means whoever sits and contemplates, what is my position? What is the God's position? It must be God. I am very tiny. How the God can come in the form of a person? How he also can become a limited in a 6 feet person can. No, it should not be possible. That means that the form what we see, Krishna is not the real form. Because the mind is thinking, no. Mind is limited, no. Speculating, no. No direction is there. Guru's direction is not there. So mind ultimately naturally comes to, there are good chances of that person coming to impersonal conclusion. God must be no form. What we saw the form is Krishna is Maya's form. It is illusory form. He also has to, God also in impersonal form, that person, when he comes into the world, he has to take like form like us and come into this world. That is what the limited materialistic mind comes to a natural conclusion. Only by the grace of a spiritual master, a devotee of Krishna, if a soul is touched, a jiva is touched by that, a pure devotee of Krishna, and hears from the devotee the very instructions of Krishna, then the real position of Krishna will be revealed. That's why in the purport also, Prabhupada said a little, there is the word that Krishna Prabhupada used, a very little understanding about transcendental knowledge, not even very high. A person, if he gets exposed to a little understanding, transcendental knowledge, he will understand that this Lord's body is not like us, like our body. Where in the Gita, Krishna says that when I descend here, I descend in my original spiritual form. Huh? No, I descend in my original spiritual form. Yes, 4th chapter, correct. Atma Maya. What is that verse? Ajopi san avyayatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakritim swam adhisthaya sambhavami Atma Maya. In the 4th chapter, when Krishna, while giving the history of the Gita, how this Gita has been given to the human society, when Arjuna, after hearing that, the system of how he gave to sun god, then further to in the king's succession, Arjuna asked a very intelligent question. What was the question?
My age, same age.
We are same age. And you, how can I believe that you told 2 million lakhs of years back to sun god? It is not Arjuna, as a perfect student, very mercifully, is asking that doubt on our behalf. Because in future generations, they should not get a doubt. So Arjuna is playing a perfect student. So very mercifully, certain questions Arjuna asked, no, not required. He is a devotee already. He doesn't actually, he knows already Krishna. But he asks out of his mercy, and he is put under, by Krishna's arrangement, he is put temporarily under forgetfulness. So he asks this question. As an answer to that, this verse comes. My dear Arjuna, Ajopi san avyayatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakritim swamadhishtaya sambhavami atmamayaya. Before that, as an answer, one more verse comes. My dear Arjuna, you and me have taken many, many births. But you don't remember all those things, but I remember. Prabhupada says that is the first indication. Krishna is telling that there is a difference between you and me. My appearance coming to this world is not equated with you are coming again and again. You also come again and again. I also come again and again. But there is a difference. I remember everything, but you don't remember. That is the first difference. Then in what way he remembers? Krishna remembers. What makes Krishna to remember? He reveals in this verse. Ajopi san avyayatma. I actually unborn, but I appear to be born. Ajaha. Ajaha means unborn. Avyayatma, inexhaustible, inconceivable. Bhutanam Ishwaropi san. I am the Ishvara, controller, supreme controller. Even though I am that, even though I am unborn, even though I am supreme controller, inexhaustible, inconceivable, but still, Prakritim swam adhishtaya sambhavami atmamayaya. With the important word is Atmamaya. Atmamaya means my internal potency. Using my internal potency, I come in my original spiritual form. And logically following. Logically following that very verse, Krishna immediately says, why I comes, what makes me to come in my original form into this world. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. So very beautifully connected sequence of the verses Krishna reveals. If you carefully study, logical flow will be there. The question comes now, I come down. Okay, if you are unborn, I come down. Why you come? What makes you to come? Isn't it? That is a natural question follows, no? Then he comes is for this reason. Dharma samsthapanarthaya. And what is that dharma? What is that dharma samsthapanarthaya? What is that sthapana that Krishna wants to do? Sthapana, establish what, which was not there. Which is not there, now he wants to establish. After telling this again, Dharma Samsthapana Ardhaya Samaya, again he says that Patranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Chadushkrutam Dharma Samsthapana Ardhaya. That means something else is there. No, third part. Yes. To remind us, Dharma means the constitutional activity of the living entity. The constitutional relationship between the living entity and the Lord. When the humanity at large is forgotten and they are lost in various activities, Krishna comes and reminds, please wake up. As part of that, Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya chadushkrita. As a side activity, it will go. But main purpose is to remind everyone, inspire everyone, please come back. Come back to me. If somebody asks Dharma Samsthapanadhaya, this is the purpose. End result of the Krishna's descent is, even because Prabhupada says, what is that? Krishna, by his own order, he can order the material energy to kill all the demons. Why he has to descend? His wish is sufficient enough. These demons should be killed by his will. Things will take place. Why has to come down personally? Because the very material nature is the master of everything. He is the controller of the material nature. Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. Under my Adhyaksha, the whole Prakriti is working. So he gives one order. Prakriti, now this, you remove it. Yes. There is a balance has to be done. Somebody will be inspired to create one big weapon. It will be done. It destroys the whole thing. He comes down only for this merciful purpose. Dharma Samsthapanartha. So when he comes down personally, all his leelas, like the leela that is happening with Bhīṣmadeva here on the battlefield, the Kurukshetra, is to inspire his readers of these leelas to understand how sweet the relationship between the Lord and the living entity is there, and develop a desire in us. Oh, how nice it is if I also have that kind of relationship. Is it possible to have that kind of relationship? So these leelas of the Mathura Leela and Dwaraka Leela, and above that, the Vrindavan Leela of Krishna, all these three, above this Mathura and Dwaraka Leelas, Vrindavan Leela is basically to attract all of us. To attract all of us to what?
Krishna praise.
To develop a desire in us how the life with Krishna would be. And come and join my activities. Activities. Relation means actions. These are the kind of activities that will be here. And why don't you come and join my activities? He is the inspiration of Krishna coming to Vrindavan and performing his leelas in Vrindavan is to inspire the jivas that this would be the life. Now here, coming to this purport of the today's verse, the Bhīṣmadeva is remembering, recollecting that I gave so much pain to Krishna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra when he was driving the chariot of Arjuna, when Bhīṣmadeva took a vow that today either Arjuna is going to be killed or Krishna is going to break his promise. One of these things is going to happen. He came with the determination. Arjuna, Bhīṣmadeva came to the battlefield because Duryodhana gave a kick to what you are all having a lot of favoritism to the sons of the Pandavas. So that's why you are not really using your power. Otherwise, what is that? If you use your power, how much time it takes for you to kill them? Then Bhīṣmadeva said that, yeah, I think I should do that. So he came with full force. Then he was all the Arjuna was chariot, his Gandiva fell down and his whole Ratha was broken and it is now about to shoot Arjuna, about to kill. Then Krishna came into the picture and as his promise that my devotees never perish. In order to protect his devotees, he was ready to break his promise of not to fight. And Arjuna was, when he took the chakra of the Ratha and about with the full anger, how can you touch my devotee Arjuna? Like that, he was attacking Bhīṣmadeva. And you should see at that time, by this time, these Arjuna, the arrows of Bhishma also touched the body of Krishna and pierced and started oozing. Blood started coming from the body of Krishna. And Krishna takes the Ratha Chakra because he doesn't take any weapon. The one weapon is this is only. He could have released his Sudarshan Chakra. No, he has taken, I will not take any weapon. Then Arjuna comes and holds the feet of Krishna. But Krishna, please don't do that. Why?
He was not really fighting with full this thing. He doesn't want the.
You are breaking your don't. So Bhīṣmadeva was recollecting that the whole incident and giving a spiritual perspective to that in this verse. Even the externally, somebody may think now Krishna's body is now pierced and blood is oozing. A normal common man may think that Krishna's body is also like a normal body like us, only made with bones, flesh. That's why the arrows are fitting him and the blood is coming. How special is Krishna's body than our body then? It's a natural question that comes. Now the Prabhupada Acharyas are revealing it here. Bhīṣmadeva is perfectly playing the role as the servitor. What is the meaning of servitor? Who executes the order of the master. And what is the Krishna's order here? Krishna's wish. Krishna's wish. For which Bhīṣmadeva has executed, shooted the arrows and pierced the body. Blood started oozing. In that, what is Krishna's will in this, for which Bhīṣmadeva has played the role as a servant? Executed the will of Krishna here.
Glorifying the devotee.
Krishna wanted to enjoy Virya Rasa, so obviously
Yes.
to.
Krishna wants to fight. Where is in our spirit? In all small entities like us only, we will be having some spirit of fighting with others. So, where this has come, the spirit of fighting with others has come from. With Krishna only. But when it is in him, that is pure. But when it is in us, in the material world, it is full of inebriety. That is the word Prabhupada used in the purport. Inebriety. Inebriety means, what is inebriety? Exact meaning of the word inebriety? Intoxicated. Intoxicated state. What is intoxicated state means in the material world?
Unaware.
Huh? Maddened state, where the intoxicated state, a person start talking which doesn't make any sense. We are all very sensible people. We make very sensible statements. But the scripture says that everyone in the material world, more or less, it is intoxicated with madness. What does that mean here?
The truth.
Our language is why it is, with the full sense I'm talking. Why it is scriptures are saying that more or less everyone in the material world are talking in an intoxicated state, in a madness state. What is a mad fellow means? What is right or what is truth, what is wrong? He keeps telling, now I'm the king. I am this. This I'm the master. Who can touch me like that? He'll be drunkard, will be going. He'll be talking like the street. He's a drunkard man, he's an intoxicated person like that. Scriptures are telling a common man in the material world, everybody, his language is a madness. In the Bhagavatam, there is a verse, Nonam pramattaha purute vikarma. Pramatta means mad. Means, what is the language? Is I and mine is the language of man. I am this, this is mine. Everything that is here is belongs to me. I am the owner, I am the enjoyer, I am the controller. Who can touch me? Like, this language is a madness. And any fight is happening, as I said, where the spirit of fighting has come from in us in the material world is because of in this madness of inebriety. Yes, who can control me? If somebody is coming and spoiling my position, that I should fight and protect my position. That in that madness we enter into that fighting. All the activities will start happening. In the spiritual world also fighting is there. But what is that fighting? How to please Krishna. How to fulfill the desire of Krishna. There it is not that this has to be fulfilled like that. Yeah. And that specific is called, that is a shift of the consciousness. That shift of consciousness where every rasa, every variety of enjoyment is existing in the spiritual world, but in the material world is a perverted reflection. Means what is that perversion is this madness. Otherwise, the spirit of fighting is, it can be in the purified form, it can exist. And example is Bhīṣma and Krishna. Where Krishna's desire is, I wants to fight, and who can fight with Krishna? His devotees only can fight. Nobody else is capable of fighting with him. So on his order, devotees play that role to give that feeling to Krishna that yes, fighting is there. And Bhīṣmadeva is feeling that. And Bhīṣmadeva with Virya Rasa, chivalrous mood when he's shooting the arrows, is thing. That's what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur at the end is telling, the Acharyas are telling. Krishna is not actually getting pained. The spirit of the fighting is actually giving him pleasure. Each and every arrow coming and touching him. The similar thing we can find with another Leela of Krishna, and fighting spirit we can see in another devotee, in very Krishna's Leela only, where
to recover his Grida. He was in fight with Jambavan.
Shamantaka Leela. And his fight with Jambavan is also with the same spirit. That time, that desire was not the devotee, Lord's desire, it is devotee's desire to fight with Krishna. And Krishna fulfilled it. In the Rama's Leela, Jambavan was having the desire. The Lord is so powerful. Who can fight with him? One day, I think if I get an opportunity to fight, how it will be like. Okay, Lord told us in some other time we'll get an opportunity. So Krishna comes to fulfill. That is the very interesting relation between Lord and his devotees. The devotees are always looking how to fulfill the desire of the Lord, and Lord is always eager. If there is a desire of the devotee is there to serve the Lord or having a relation with the Lord in certain way, how to create that situation. Exactly. That is the sweet relationship. But to come to that state of really realizing of a sweet relationship with Krishna, a lot of purification has to happen. It's not so easy to get, but it is made easy by the grace of Prabhupada to us. How it is made easy? How it is made easy? The very mission of Prabhupada is a very clear will of Krishna is brought down. And in the pursuit of executing the mission of Prabhupada, there are so many purifications are there in it. And in the purification process, a lot of incidents will be there where this reciprocation can be felt. And that is the easiest way to develop a relationship with the Lord and have the darshan of the Lord is for a devotee to accept the mission of the spiritual master as one's own mission and start executing it. Is the most fastest track of approaching Krishna. Other paths of doing tapasya for various yugas and all that, finally, like Bhagavatam says, what is that? These Gopas and Gopis are not ordinary people. They have done tapasya for many, many years in the previous ages. Now they got an opportunity now to become, before going back to Krishna's abode, now they've taken part in Krishna's Leela in Vrindavan. Now for us, that tapasya is accepting the mission of the Guru as our mission. That is the most fastest and sublime way of having the darshan of Krishna and having our reviving our relation with Krishna. So the devotees should learn or understand, because this statement what I just now made is mentioned by Srila Prabhupada only in one of the purports of the Bhagavad. The fastest way of having the darshan of Krishna is working for the mission of the spiritual master. Is the fastest way of having the darshan. Now, working for the mission of Prabhupada means we need to really understand his heart. We need to understand Guru as the person, what he is desiring, how his desire is Krishna's desire, how to fulfill that Krishna's desire. With so much compassion, he has come and established this. Now he has given that service to us. How we need to protect it, how we need to cherish it, how we need to propagate it to the best of our ability. If this is the meditation that is going on in a devotee's mind, that is the fastest way a devotee keeps becoming more and more quickly closer to Krishna. This is the secret. This is the secret. Any other method we may follow, because Prabhupada has not given any other method than this to us. If any other method, by speculation, with our limited speculation, if we try to do it, either we get digressed, or we get lost, or we come to incorrect conclusions.
Because of that only we are here.
Huh?
Because of that thought process only we are here.
Because of?
Because of the speculation only we are here. Right?
Ah, yes, yes, yes. So that is the now how Srila Prabhupada, now the way Bhīṣmadeva was feeling, that yes, the Lord is so compassionate. Even though the Lord did not take my fight shooting the arrows as a very, how can that person who shot the arrows at me, you see that now he's lying on the deathbed on the Kurukshetra, on the Ampashahina, he has on the bed of arrows he's lying. How can I go and see him? Because he fought with me, shooting arrows at me, you see that. That is general thinking. No? So Krishna did not see that situation in that way. And what is this way Krishna saw that is the what is given in the purport. And Krishna enjoyed the chivalrous mood of Bhīṣmadeva shooting his devotee, shooting the arrows at him. He enjoyed, and he wants that devotee's glory to be known to the whole world. So he brought all the ganas of the Pandavas to the battlefield when Bhīṣmadeva is about to give up the body. So that the dealings or exchange of the words between Bhīṣmadeva and Pandavas in Yudhishthira Maharaj will make the Bhishma's position very glorious. So Krishna's desire is my devotees' glories should be known. Similarly, if we reflect connected to Prabhupada's pastimes, Leelas, all the incidents that have happened in Prabhupada's life, the tough circumstances that Prabhupada faced, are also orchestrated by Krishna, personally orchestrated by Krishna, so that the glory of his devotee, Prabhupada, will come to known to the whole world. We may see that how Prabhupada has gone through so much troubles, how Krishna allowed it to happen like that. A devotee of Krishna cannot go through, before going to India itself, so much troubles. How many of you know that when he was distributing Back to Godhead magazines in the streets of Delhi,
He fainted.
he was hit by a bull. He was hit by a bull. And Prabhupada recollect how I saved. I don't know. It is the fullest comment. So all the situations of the tough circumstances what Srila Prabhupada faced, and how Prabhupada unwavering devotion, unwavering determination towards the order of his Guru and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the whole parampara of the Acharyas, he was determined to do that, has attracted Lord's mercy and grace, and how he was protected and how his glory has come to the known to the whole world. So every incident that happened in Prabhupada's life is orchestrated by Krishna to make that all the events to be cherished for the next 10,000 years, as long as the ISKCON is going to be there on the face of this earth. That's why these Leelas of Prabhupada incidents are cherishable for a devotee, that this is how Krishna's protection comes. If you are determined to the mission of the Guru's mission. Otherwise, where is the example for us now to see that? Acharya is an example, no? His life is an example. Every aspect that has happened is an example for us to reflect and then take something from that. So naturally, sometimes I feel that every follower of Prabhupada, if they are following it, naturally they will be taken through the troublesome circumstances to make them more stronger. This is Prabhupada's grace upon us. Journey is not going to be easy, but made easy, provided we are determined. Show little determination, one step determination we show. Then you'll see the reciprocation. This realization, Prabhupada is giving us an opportunity to experience it. Otherwise, we'll be sitting at home and we'll be speculating, this must be the devotion, this must be the life, spiritual life may be like this. But on the ground, Prabhupada is actually engaging us. Without that practical engagement, that realization and opportunity to realize the truth will not come. Any questions on this?
One observation, Prabhu, I think incident related to Bhīṣmadeva only. There's a Parthasarathi temple, I think many of us may know it.
Chennai.
In Chennai, where when the deities were made, actually, there was initially the scar was there. And the Pujari, head Pujari said, no, this is not correct. How can Lord's face be like this? So again, they made the deity once more. Again, the scars came. And then finally, Lord came in the dream of the Pujari and said, no, I want these scars. Because that's how, the glorification of the Lord and Bhīṣmadeva's relationship. It is there actually. So when you go to the temple,
I was not aware that scar is there.
When you go to the temple, I mean, they have put a picture also outside. You can see that scar. Difficult to see it.
Utsava Vigraha in the
Utsava.
Utsava, yes, I know that. Not in the Molavar, no? Utsava.
It is there.
Molavar also is there?
That picture, they have shown it in the.
So
because it's very difficult to observe. In the Garbhagriha, when you come out, they have put a big picture where you can see.
Any other question? Yeah.
True. You said there is no real impersonalist. Everybody, in a way, are
Very rare, very
rare.
real, true impersonalist, very difficult to find.
In some ways, they are all personalist, but they are under
Impersonal
illusion.
contamination
Yeah.
was there little behind some because of the family lineage, various lineage because of that. That was there, but the attraction for singing or anything is a natural, something is there that otherwise a person cannot develop that. Yes, go on. Yeah.
So the question is, like this person when he is singing the glories of the Lord, but it lacks the bhava. That it is for
Bhava is also there.
Bhava is also
So
there.
there.
Bhava is also there.
There.
But the final conclusion the person is making is, I will become that.
Correct. That is the thing.
So
These bhavas one day will disappear.
will disappear.
These bhavas currently are meant for me a means to one day to become one with Krishna, to become Krishna.
So Do they attain any spiritual benefit in this process?
Yes.
Because they are singing the names of the Lord.
Yes, yes,
So-
yes.
So there is spiritual credit still.
The
that
credit is there,
being-
yes. The touching of the name of the Lord is Sukriti will be there. Since their desire for chanting of the name of the Lord is to become one with Him, Krishna gives awards that thing to become one in the Brahma Jyoti.
Hmm.
Impersonal, become merged in the bodily effulgence of Krishna.
Hmm.
If they really follow that path very clear, Krishna fulfills their desire.
Hmm.
Now it is our duty now to go and touch that kind of people, then change their perception that don't think that these bhavas are temporary. These bhavas originally exist in the spiritual reality.
Okay.
So if they conclude, then they will truly, with that goal, they will start doing that activity,
Hmm.
not as a means.
Hmm. Hmm. That's the end.
That is also an end. Means, beginning, means, and end is that. Eternal.
So the reason why I asked Prabhu, Maruti Prabhu and I are working for a HK Feeds, floor 1 and floor 2 for activity center. So there is music, there is dance. And we also, since we are not the experts in that field, we are now trying to enroll other academy. Now, for all we know, they may be impersonalists also. They're just the same category as this person. Same category as this person, but they're experts in that field. So what precautions should be exercised? Because we are not going to know. We may not even interview